Hello and welcome to Love Through It.
Hello, I'm Claire.
And I am Liana.
I felt like we had to take a minute to think for a second there.
Well, it's the second week in a row we settled into that, and I want to start crying.
Look at that. Point to the eyes.
I just feel it's just been a really weird almost 2 weeks now, energy wise for me.
Yeah.
And I feel very vulnerable.
Well,
And
this is vulnerable.
yeah. And I
Place to
feel
be.
raw, and I feel
Okay.
I've been like carrying kind of like an icky energy, which is like not really what I'm trying to bring here.
No, no.
No, no,
Or in
no,
general, in life.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. And it's so funny. This process of bringing this whole thing back was very like directed from beyond. And, sorry, they're moving. We
Oh,
got the pavement cleaned outside because we were
okay.
hosting a rather large baby shower on Sunday.
Oh, hosting.
And I couldn't, they were like needing something. And I was like, I'm sorry, I have to go record something. I'm so sorry. But then
Yeah.
they found someone to help, and they're just being really cute and helpful outside. And I noticed
Okay.
out the door,
Yeah.
they being the pavement cleaners.
Of
Not that
course.
anyone needed to know.
No, but that's
But
a distraction for you. So
yes, yes.
I get it.
Yeah, no, I'm like feeling a lot of big feelings. And it's very interesting because I always want to come here and feel like we have something cool to share, and we're so fun and funny and breezy. And
Girl, we're
well,
all
we
of the things.
we did show up mostly in matching attire today again.
Again, once again. We're both wearing a white t-shirt,
We are. I was wearing a very colorful sweater if
which
you
I
were watching
appreciate.
this, but then
Yeah,
it just seemed too fun to be matching.
and I appreciate that.
I wonder if we should try to psychically. I think then it won't work.
No, it won't. If we put effort into it, no.
It's not
No,
gonna
we
work.
can't.
And then
Well, th- I did. One of the reasons I said, okay, white t-shirt today, because as actors, we know to avoid white a lot of times. But I did shift my location.
you did. You
And
did.
I'm in a very saturated part of my home. And so I said, what if a white pops? A white, it's popping out. So,
It does. It does. And behind her is really a beautiful deep teal, if you're just listening, and these
beautiful detail.
lovely navy curtains. And then she did, if you were with us last week, she did share that she's near the litter box.
Yep. I said, you know what? Okay. I did not do my proper homework
I
and
was going to
confirm.
ask.
I know. Well, I looked up, so when I did the show notes for last
Yeah.
week's episode, I pulled links for like the different types of feng shui and like
Uh-huh.
basic tips. And then it stopped there. I
Yes.
said, well, Claire, you could just go ahead and just double check. But I said, not today. I can't take it
Well,
on.
no, because then if it's, you might have to move it, and that feels
And what do I
stressful because, like,
do?
especially in an apartment, there aren't like an unlimited amount of places you can put a litter box.
And the amount that I challenged, so many areas of the home to come here, I don't see myself moving it again right now. So this is where we are. And I said, well, I love looking at this little breakfast nook teal explosion that I have happening. So
It's
what if I share that visual
with
with
the world.
with the world?
I like it. It feels very theatrical and dramatic
Thank
because
you.
you have the curtains. I feel like you are on your little stage here,
Thank
which
you.
I love.
Think about going directly in front of the curtains for full effect. But then I
Well,
said,
maybe next week. Who knows?
I'll share.
Where in the world is
Where in
Claire?
the world is Claire? Mm,
So I was on a walk before this. I went on a
okay,
long walk to sort of like shake it out, which did make me feel a bit better. And
good.
I have a theory about what's going on this week, and I'll share. part of it is, I think, astrology and energy, not to like blame it on the stars, but like
No,
I'm
but
gonna.
that's a lot. Mm-hmm.
I was on a long walk. It's a very beautiful day here. Not that warm, but beautiful nonetheless.
Okay.
And I was halfway through my walk. I walked all the way to Cascais, if you know anything about Portugal. And I took a moment to have a seat and take in the view and appreciate it like we've been doing. And we need to hear our list, but I took a moment. So then, and I had this wave of gratitude for my mother. So I just called her because I figured she'd be having breakfast. So we had like a quick, 5-minute phone call about virtually nothing. She was making coffee and about to go for a walk. And, I let her go. I was like, okay, I'm going to walk home and like get back into my groove. And she calls me back like 5 or 6 minutes later and is very much like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to ask you something. And I was like, yes. And she goes,
Okay.
Is Claire going to listen to her mom's advice?
Wow. Wow.
I was like, well,
Right question, Mom.
I was like, you know what? I'm going to record a podcast with her in a couple hours. Like, I'll just ask her. She goes, well, the listeners really need to know.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping me honest. I really, yeah. It's like when you're a teenager, you don't listen to your parents. And apparently when you're a 49-year-old, you don't listen to your parents. Wow. Yeah, I mean, the hope is yes. The hope is absolutely.
And the great part of that whole thing is like, it's up to you.
And I unfortunately can't blame anyone else. It's really just up to me.
No. And if you missed 2 episodes ago,
yes,
we had a really beautiful interaction with Claire's mom, who is elsewhere in the beyond.
Yes. She popped in saying, hello. That's definitely I have been thinking about it a lot. I have been, I was working on my list. So I feel like I'm making steps in the right direction.
I love it.
Thank you.
Yes, good. Well, I promised I'd ask. And I was curious.
Listen, everyone, even myself, I'm going to tell you, I'm even curious. Will I actually do this? Will
and I think my mom is feeling responsible for all moms. She's like, well, I'm going to have to double down.
Well, I gotta ask. If she can't be held accountable to her mom in this world. I'm going to
have to do it. I'm going to have to do it.
Right. Okay, that's a great question. And I do hope that that question will be answered soon by my actions, by my updates. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we made the list.
How was
it?
It was so good. I took my little notebook to a coffee shop, and not just any old coffee shop. Thank you so much. I went to this very cute queer coffee shop in West Hollywood, but like female owned queer. And it's so cute. It's Fangirl Cafe.
Ooh.
And it's like all about like music and fun. So it's like hot pink and black and white, and it has like a disco ball, and they're playing old like 80s music videos. And it's just like a fun energy, and like everyone's so nice, and So I drove over there with my little notebook, and I sat down and I just started writing. And there was a moment I made like 2 pages worth in my little notebook. And there was a moment there I was like, what was that? And I almost picked up my phone, and I was like, stop, don't break this. Don't break the like flow of this. So kept writing, and I keep thinking about it, which is the whole point too, right? Like I was like, ooh, I need to add that. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also took it, once I kind of tapped my well of that for now. I was like, well, let's start making a list of things I want.
And the previous list, if you weren't with us last week, was about things that bring joy, delight, when you have moments in the day where you are overwhelmed with just, I don't know, beauty or something good. Looking out for the good stuff in life.
I think I think the initial question was, how do you love your life? So it's just like finding those happy little moments. And I try to get as specific and as small. Gosh, here's the problem. The cats.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I'm sorry. My cat just jumped on the table. I've been trying to keep him off. Okay. Anywho, we're a work in progress. But yes, so I was trying to think of like, okay, don't get so broad. I mean, those are fine too. But like, I was trying to think of very specific moments. Are
there any off the top of your head that?
Well, simply because the cat did just jump on the table. One of them is, so I have two cats. One of them is very shy and very nervous. Very nervous.
The girl.
Like the girl, Lucy. And we've been on a journey.
Right. Cross country.
She has to have her own time, whatever. So, but there's a moment.
What does that mean? She has to have her own time.
Well, like I don't go to her.
Oh, I see. That is a kid. That's sort of cats, right?
Kind of
a little bit like, hey.
Kind of. I mean, Charlie is like.
Well, I think aren't boy cats generally supposed to be friendlier? I thought.
And I have found in my extensive research of having a boy and a girl, and then now a boy and a girl, I will say that both boys. Very friendly, very chill, and then the girls are but they both were calicos, whatever, it doesn't matter. But anywho, when she like lays down in my legs and then will like kind of look back with half open eyes, there's like because I know that she feels safe and secure. You know what I mean? Like, and so there's just that like, just that happy knowing that she's such a nervous little Nelly,
Right.
So that's very sweet. But yeah, another thing I thought of was when I'm asked for my help or my opinion on something that's so specific to me. Like I remember back in August, I had some friends in town and I met up with them and because they were staying elsewhere. And one of my friends had their necklace was like a little knotted. And when I got there, one of the other friends was like, oh, Claire's good at that stuff. Like, let Claire do it. And it delighted me just to be like, to be thought that I can do something. You know what I mean? Like it's so small, but it's like, I knocked it. I got that knot out in 2 seconds,
Claire, there's so many things I could list. Like Claire's the person you want on set. I feel like if you're moving, if you need to reorganize something, like literally like logistical, but also creative, visual, like you want to decorate something, you want to design something, you want to, I mean, I could go on and on.
Thank you for that. See that? I'm adding it to the list. So, but yeah, little things. And then like the wind in my leg hair, which we all know excited about. And like, I was really happy about, and I felt like there was so much more, but I was like, okay, this feels good for right now.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Which what a wonderful thing to be like, I know there's so much more that makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I was doing it as like, what are the things today that stood out to me?
Oh, that's fun.
So it was like, I thought like, and that was fun because then I was more present when something was happening. Yeah. And then it was almost like, ooh, leading to this feeling further, which was fun. And I looked at my list from the week and literally like smack dab in the middle, it just says mayo.
Mayo.
It's like dancing. Orange flowers by the highway. Mayo. Like, yeah, that's about right. Specifically
Attracts.
chosen foods mayo. I have to special
Ah.
order it here. I really like it.
Okay, excuse me.
And it just hits the spot for not having extra crap in it. We are not sponsored by them.
Nope,
But
nope, nope.
truly, there's no crap or sugar or weird oil, but it tastes like ideal. It tastes like mayonnaise, right? When you get healthy mayonnaise and it tastes weird,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. This is perfect mayonnaise flavor with no crap in it.
Okay, that's impressive.
I love it. I love it.
I don't.
I
Is
had
it
it earlier this week and it made me very excited.
okay? I love that. Is it something that you get at Whole Foods or something?
Yeah, you could find it.
Because
Definitely.
I switched over when back in the day,
Yeah.
a few years ago, when doing the sugar detox
Yep.
and things.
Yep.
Before there's a brand, the Primal Kitchen or whatever.
Way better than Primal Kitchen does a good Chipotle mayo.
Yeah.
And that is absolutely, I stand by that. But if you want a classic mayonnaise, I would say Chosen Foods for the win. I think there's avocado. It's avocado oil, but there's no sugar. There's no weird, it's not vegan or anything. There's eggs in it. But it's so delicious.
Okay.
And I can order it online here, which is really nice.
Okay, good. Listen, we're happy about these things. These
I know.
things make us love our lives.
Well, and on Sunday we had to go to a fancy 70th birthday party of one of Luciana's childhood friends' dad. And the fun thing about Brazilians is they really love a party. And
I love that for them.
I've been to so many extravagant fancy parties since living in Portugal that are like weddings. This could have been a wedding. And it was delightful. The whole party was delightful. Well, there is something really beautiful I've witnessed in a few different occasions here, being with Lou's family or other Brazilians, where it's they love life and have this really beautiful family, love family and celebrate each other and love to just be having fun together on a level that it's the best thing you've ever seen. It's just they love life and love each other, and it's just such an energy to be around that's so much fun. But why I brought it up is I did her hair. I do both of our hair when we go somewhere fancy. And we were walking out to leave, and I kept feeling damn, her hair looks so good. I did such a good job. And I was I have to write it down the list.
You have
and
to
all
write
night
it
I
down.
kept looking at her hair being I'm so good at hair.
Oh
I
my God,
did
I'm
such a
sorry.
good job.
I'm a hairstylist.
I am amazing. New career.
Wait,
And I kept
love
being your hair looks so good, by the way. And I'm and I'm just complimenting myself.
right, exactly. It's sure, it's your hair, but I did it.
It looked better than mine that I'd also done. And I was sort of damn it. Should I cut my hair? This looks way better. But it's so funny because it's this funny moment of I'm leaning into the moments a bit more, which is really nice because it's been a really funky couple of weeks for me.
Yeah. Well, last week was definitely funky. We discussed it. It was energy. It was planets. It was life. Whatever.
Well, and apparently Uranus is leaving Taurus tomorrow on the 25th on Saturday.
Okay. Where's she going?
And I don't know. I'm just get the hell out. Because I just people keep sending me this stuff. Yeah. But it's been in my sign for 7 years. And literally one of my friends sent me some sort of astrology meme situation talking about it. And it's you are unrecognizable to who you were. And by the end of it, I cried because I felt so seen. This is where astrology is so creepy. But it was you, and I had met her. This was my closest friend from London. I met her in 2021. I manifested her. I literally was I need a best friend. I'm going to create it. And then 2 weeks later, she appeared, which was a fun story.
Obsessed.
But she was I know you've gone through so much. And they talked a lot about how every time something got stable, it shifted, which is so true. Or anytime you had an idea about what your life would be it shifted, or your body shifted, or your consciousness. And I was you don't even know the half of it. I realized I counted from January of 2019 to October of 2021, I moved 9 times.
I can't. That's just you making that statement
9.
has stressed me out beyond belief.
Once was out of the country accidentally.
Wait, accidentally.
I like moved abroad during the pandemic unintentionally.
Yeah.
And then I never came back.
And then you didn't come back at all.
Thank God. It was the right, well, this is when I started to like,
Right time.
it was like my, like, fuck it, where I had blown up the beginning of 2019 is when my life sort of blew up as I knew it.
Yeah.
Where I was like 10-year relationship, 15-year career, 15-year city, like full identity. And all of a sudden being like, this isn't it anymore. And then I think it was kind of easy for me to surrender to the unknown because I tried really hard before with my brain. And I was like, this isn't it.
Yeah, it's not. I can't. It's the force versus, what was it? Force versus.
Like surrender or flow, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the push versus kind of the laying back.
Yeah.
But so maybe there's something going on. But also I think I've been reading, and I know we texted about this, but I got Lena Dunham's new book, Famesick.
Well, yes, and mine is en route. It is ordered and on its way.
And I feel very affected by this. I won't go too deep into this because we'll probably have to talk about it.
Yeah.
But I guess girls just came out. I'm only a couple years older than she is. So we were sort of like, and girls was auditioning and shooting in New York when I was like actively auditioning and like it was just kind of telling a story that I felt very resonant to living in New York. And then she was pushing boundaries and being herself.
Oh my God, yeah.
And my Chiron is all about like, I guess like speaking up and my public perception and using my voice. I've learned about this year. Yeah, and so anyone who can really be themselves in that way is so impressive to me. And I feel so in awe of because I very much, I mean, I'm doing a better job now, but I realize even here, like I struggle a little bit. And
in what way?
Well, especially this past week or so, it feels so like, I don't know. It's funny. I am very inconsistent energetically, right? We know this is my human design. Sure. And then I remember reading this once and it made me feel a lot better where I wake up sort of with different varying, like I'm different all the time. So there's always a few days or maybe a week, a month where like, I don't feel very good about myself. That makes me want to.
I point. Mm-hmm.
I know, and it makes it. I feel like really shame. That makes me feel a lot ashamed to say that out loud. Yeah, and because I think at this point, like my life goes so against like or my trajectory or what I deem it is like against like cultural norms, and you know, I'm not productive in the ways that we're supposed to. Or like I don't know, like I've changed so much that sometimes I feel unrecognizable, and I'm so surrendered to the flow of life and things that are so much bigger than me that I don't know. And I think that crazy experience that happened to me a couple of years ago haunts me a bit because when you have like that sort of, that bliss experience I had with Tara in like 2022, when I felt so profoundly like whole and complete in the darkness of my own experience, it makes doing anything seem utterly pointless because the origin of how we feel is like actually within us, right? And our perception of everything kind of comes from the lens through which we see and our trauma and our experience and our cultural programming or familial or societal, right? And so sometimes there's this real profound feeling of like, well, I don't feel like I'm really in control of a lot of things besides like listening to the nudges and the pulls and the whispers and trying to show up being the best version of myself, that sometimes I just feel like, what's the point? And like, often I feel like I truly thought I knew, you know what I mean? Like, it's very strange to like, especially like, I loved acting so much. I loved comedy so much. Like, that was what I was going to do. That was my purpose. Like that, you know? And then when I got sick and all of the health stuff came in, and it felt like so perfect. And I felt like, oh my God, I'm so interested in this. And now there's a way I can help people too. And I can bring together everything that I love to do. And that felt so incredible to feel like, oh my God, through the struggles that I had, I was able to like make something to help people. And then that even was stripped away by not me. I just, you know, even Tara, when I met her, my late shaman, who I met accidentally at a dinner party, she was like, that's not what you're meant to do. Like, you're meant to move consciousness forward. And I'm like, what does that even mean?
Right.
What?
How does that
pretty
happen?
sure that's not it.
Where is that job description?
Right. Like, who's gonna, how do you?
Right.
So it just, I sometimes wake up because I feel like I still do a lot of like a foot in each world, where I feel like I'm a realistic, grounded person who like understands that like you have to take the trash out and eat your vegetables and call your friends back and pay your taxes and whatever, and show up in the world and do things. But then there's this whole other side of me that like connects with your mother and feels crazy energy when stuff happens. Or like lately I've been coming more into light language, and that feels really weird to me. And how it comes through is a lot like through my hands, because I feel like that's the most comfortable I am when I'm in like a public setting.
Well, sure.
So like if I, you know, am in the right place in the right time and the energy, it's like I look maybe like I have some sort of
tick or something. Yeah.
Where it's like I could stop it, but it feels like it moves energy around.
Yeah.
So that I live in the reality of the fact that like I talk to a channel, and I believe that what we see specific, like because of the experience I've had in the past 2 years, I very much believe that there's so much more, and that we're all connected, and it is love. And though the world seems really hard and horrible right now, that there is a greater purpose for it. And I think that, you know, we have more control of our bodies and understanding and perception than we think, but that we have very little control over the rest of it. Right. So I have a very different worldview at this point. And then I think sometimes it's really hard if I spend too much time disconnected, like in one or the other area. And especially if I spend a lot of time just like not even connecting to that other part, then I really am like, I'm about to be 43, I think, next week.
Okay. I love that you're questioning.
I think I'm turning 40. And then I was like, am I turning 44? I don't know. I literally,
girl, I don't know.
I watched some, you know, that guy on Instagram that is the doctor who,
like Dr. Mike?
No, I know he's this older, well, I can't say that. He's this bald man.
Okay.
Who is always talking about how Trump has Alzheimer's and how he's an expert in it.
Oh,
Do you follow that guy?
It has not come across my feed yet. No.
Someone sends, well, meanwhile, he was saying he's going to die in the next day or two. Anyway, he randomly came up on my feed this morning and was like, oh, I just turned, like, it was my 42nd birthday. And what he was saying was showing a video of Trump soiling himself. Apparently. And I don't know. But what I couldn't get over that he was 42. And then I was like, am I 42?
That's so funny.
I think I am. Yeah, I am. This is the problem. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Like, I don't do dates. This is like.
What year were you born?
1983.
83.
Yeah.
So 3.
So yeah.
So 43.
Yeah. Next week.
Yeah. Next week, which again, that's something we shall celebrate in a moment. But nonetheless.
So really spun out of control because I was like, isn't that so funny when that happens? When you're like, we're the same age. We're the same age. This is not the same.
Yeah. When I see like celebrity birthday or something, I'm like, what? Like how? I'm like, I think this is a random thought, but I think I'm 1 year older than Angelina Jolie. And I'm like, how is that?
No, you're not. You're just not. No. Like when you said you were 49, I also am like, no, you're not.
I don't believe
you're like 38.
I doesn't. Well, I was telling my friend yesterday, I was like, I am a millennial presenting Gen Xer with
That's true. You're not even a millennial.
I'm not a millennial. I'm like with a Gen Z like therapy speak.
So are you the best or the worst of all three? I'm not sure.
To be determined. But I also like to call it the MTV generation. Because I was there when video killed the radio star, like when MTV started and now stopped.
I know. Wow. We've outlived it. I was a little young and we didn't have cable, so I didn't. I watched MTV, but not until like high school.
Right.
Because I wasn't. We didn't.
And that's fine. And that's fine. I got us off track. I'm sorry. I just wanted to.
I know. Well, I did too by literally not knowing how old I was.
Your age.
But truly, 38 at best. 38 at best.
For sure.
Yeah, it's really strange. It's a strange existence. And I'm trying to be very comfortable with sharing it and also living it honestly, because the rational part of my brain that I lived in up until, like, I've been into meditation and spirituality for a number of years, but not to this level where, you know, I truly believe the more work you do internally, that on the outside things just show up. That's now been my experience.
Yeah.
And I've seen the miraculous. I go to Dr. Joe, and like a couple years ago, there was a woman in her 70s who grew a new rectum. She meditated.
Wait,
literally.
It's not funny, but boy.
But it is. But it is. It is. But like also like what? Like
what?
Right?
I don't
so
understand.
This poor woman, she's in her 70s. She gets sick, and then I think almost like misdiagnosed. She gets some form of cancer.
Sure.
And they have to remove all but 3 inches of her rectum. And I'm sure we can find the video and like link it of her testimonial.
Okay.
And so they remove all of it but 3 inches, and her quality of life is horrible. She cannot leave like the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
So it like creates all these problems in her digestive system and all the scar tissue. It's just a whole mess. And she was really feeling like, I want to end my life. Like my quality of life is completely gone. Like there's nothing to live for. I can't even like leave my house. And someone handed her Joe's book, Becoming Supernatural, and she was desperate, which is, I think, how a lot of people find this stuff, right? And are willing to commit to it. And she had been interested in Buddhism as like a child, and now whenever I say, I can't even not think of White Lotus and be like, Buddhism. She was interested in Buddhism. Pepper, no.
So
Pepper, no.
Pepper,
okay. No. So she is interested in Buddhism. So anyway, she commits. She spends less than a year doing these meditations, even in the beginning being interrupted all the time because she had to use the bathroom.
Yeah.
And in less than a year, she grows a brand new rectum. And it's an inch longer than her other one. And she healed all of the scar tissue and grew a new one. And this woman is on stage, Claire, with Dr. Joe, with all of her scans. Her doctor like lost their damn mind. Always, of course.
Wow.
And so, like, you've seen that. You hear her like, it's the most insane. Like, we're capable of so much more. We've just tapped into what we can do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But I lived, 40 years being being a materialist until I couldn't anymore because I'd seen and experienced too much. and it's really a bizarre place to straddle, especially when the world is in the state that it's in. And then the energy's all over. Like, I'm so sensitive to like things outside of myself now in ways I haven't been. And on some days I can come on here and feel really like sure and proud and like I have something beautiful to offer, and like I have a connection to something, and like I should be here. And then days like today or last week, it's hard to believe, and I don't feel worthy or deserving of any of it, and like I shouldn't be taking up space, and I know it's not true, because we all are worthy and deserving of love, and people have podcasts talking about like farts or some stuff that's silly, whatever. They people talk about the most ridiculous stuff. But it's interesting because I really sat with my channel before this, because sometimes when the energy, like I'm not sleeping and the energy is weird, I have a hard time connecting to anything bigger.
Okay.
And I sat down before this, I'm like, should we even be doing this? They're like, yes. Just trust. Just be open. Just be open. Just like follow this feeling. So I don't like this as part of me, but it's also very real and
so real. Jesus.
Human and it makes me feel like silly and ridiculous that like, I have these moments where it's like, wow, the world is in this really treacherous state. And my highest expression is a podcast? Like, really?
Really? I hear you, but that's viewing it with a mentality from 5-10 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, this is different. I saw someone was talking about like Amy Poehler, and like, why doesn't, like, she should do a late night or whatever. Yeah. And it was like, why?
Right.
She has the perfect platform.
Yeah.
She's doing her podcast. This is how people reach each other, Yeah. Yeah. So,
but it's funny because I come against like, well, what do you have that people need, and why do you need to reach anyone anyway? And it's so interesting because I sit with it. I'm like, no, I won't listen. I can feel that.
Oh,
but then I put on my matching white T-shirt, and
we show up.
Here we are. Hello. But sort of bringing it back to the Lena Dunham thing.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because I don't like. When Catherine O'Hara died, I felt very affected.
Oh my gosh, I know.
That was really hard for me.
That was.
But I don't feel very connected to celebrity, or do I care? I mean, I feel connected to Jimmy Fallon because I like worked with him, or like David Cross because I got to like meet him, like people who I've had like interactions with, sure.
But in general,
no, and it was funny, and I think the reason that I did the show so much was because like there's so many celebrities on it, and I just didn't really care. You know what I mean? I feel like they would get people
fangirling.
No, I don't care. But I felt very, very affected by what Lena Dunham had created and what she was doing, and I felt very inspired by her. And I just remember and I know that you can relate to this because there's such like a draw to be an actor that feels like mental illness or something sometimes, especially when it's not going well.
1,000%. You have to be somewhat delusional,
right?
Like it's sickening.
But there's this real drive to want to like explore and to express yourself. And I remember I really I thought about LA versus New York out of college, and I was like, no, I want to go to New York because I want to like really learn how to act, and I like gritty indie film, and I like weird stuff, and I like Saturday Night Live, and like I really want to I want to make stuff that like says something or means something. You know what I mean? So she was really doing this in a way that I was so impressed by. And then obviously like super envious of, and I was like dying to get into Jen Euston's casting office, and you know what I mean? Like when I made Paper Dreams, the movie that was not good, but I made it. The woman we cast as my best friend was like up for Jemima Kirk's role when Jemima didn't want to do it for a while, right? Like I felt like it was very in the world of this. And I just remember watching it and having that like ache inside where you're like, I want to be playing with you guys in the sandbox so bad. Like, and it's so interesting, right? Because I think there's a really big narrative around being an actor, especially, and like less and less, but this was only in the beginning of people making their own work more because we had more access to that. Sure. But she was so like, look at Tiny Furniture, her first film, like everyone make tiny furniture. You can do it, right? Everyone's making iPhone movies now. Yeah. But it was like, it felt so inaccessible. Like I felt like I didn't have the tools or the wherewithal to write and do things in that way. And it just, I would watch it and I would absolutely like love it and be stretched by it and be shocked by it and just be impressed. And just like my soul would yearn to do this thing. And you just couldn't help like I just couldn't help being impressed and feeling, wow, she like really figured out this thing that like everything inside of me wants and like wishes I could be seen and do. And then, you know, I look at my life and I'm reading this book, and it's like horrible. Like what the reality of it is horrible. And it's
how much hate towards her.
Well, and just that, like, as I can relate to her, like, and I don't have OCD, but like, as a very sensitive, very, like, overwhelmingly sensitive, shy, like, especially when I was her age, like, challenged, anxious, eating disorder, self-hating 20-something-year-old. Like, the stuff she went through, like, oh my God, I was spared. That is God, like, you look at it now and it's like, thank God I didn't have any of that. I was so protected. Yeah, I got to work bits and parts here and there. And like some of the best memories I have are like being on sets with like you and Jesse and doing like silly, funny, goofy things. Like that's where I needed to be. For sure. But you look at it and it's this, and I can't wait for you to read it just so we can talk more about it.
I know, right? Yeah.
Because I feel very like impacted. Like it's hard to read because it's really dark. Parts of it are like super dark and I get really affected by that. But it's so interesting. And this again goes back to, I guess, like, we never know. We never know what's best for us. We never know what we need. And like, I would have been a kidney to be part of that, or to, I don't even know. I did not want to be in her position of probably writing it. Like, I even knew at that age, like, that would have been.
That's different. That's a massive undertaking and like, such a target. Like that's
oh my God. And like how she struggled with it. I'm impressed she pulled it off in like, it blows my mind because I would have imploded and just died. I would have died.
No. I would not be here today if that was.
Oh my God. And I'm only 150 pages in, so it's not even to like I don't, it's sort of just talking about girl. Yeah, I mean the girl's bit of it. But it's so interesting, and like my heart goes out to her, and I feel it's another one of those moments, and I feel like we're having so many of them these days, whether it's like, COVID or, I mean, 9/11 was a while ago, but these like major moments in my life where like the world seems different than I thought. And again, recently with like the Epstein files, right? Where it's like, whoa, stuff was going on. And then it's really interesting to think about, because even that was like, oh my God, Judd Apatow, and she got to make her own thing and she got to be in control of it. And like the dream that I was striving for was actually a fucking nightmare.
An absolute nightmare.
And it's
for a young woman, especially.
No, I couldn't have done it. I don't think I couldn't do it now. I am so not cut out to be in the entertainment industry in that way. I am, and my body told me, and it was so interesting because my aunt was here visiting a couple weeks ago, which was wonderful. And it's so funny because we're very similar. We had very similar trajectories unintentionally. And hers was like, so she I'm sure I've talked about her before. She was the one that was like, she was the first woman ever on a long form improv team with like Del
in Chicago.
Close in Chicago. And she came up with like Tim Meadows and Bill Murray's brother. And she was roommates with like Steve Carell. And in her late 20s, she got diagnosed with MS because her body could not handle just... She was saying she was an aerobics, a jazzercise and aerobics instructor in Chicago. And she was this cute little thing. And she was like, Lianna, I was so intense that like I would do so many crunches, my spine would bleed.
Wait,
like,
what?
Yeah, it was like,
that's
she
not
was like,
right.
I know. I was like, girl. And then I was like, oh my God, I literally am cut from like the intensity of like how driven she was. And I was like, I was same. And I got sick and I didn't get MS, thank God.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as severe. I veered out of it sooner. Yeah. And I think we had a lot of discussions around talking about like when you're diagnosed with something that's terminal or like lifelong, that can do something to your system where you're like perpetuating the illness. Now they're seeing.
Yeah. Okay.
Versus like they could never quite diagnose me with anything.
Yeah.
Which was so great because it gave me...
You had to go search.
I did. Well, and what no one could tell me, because it wasn't anything yet. They're like, listen, you're not sick enough yet. And that was like the magic pill for me because I was like, okay, if I created my environment to make myself this sick, then I can create an environment for wellness. And that's what I did. And for the most part, everything turned around, right? But it was just so interesting to notice that like, because we talked about our trajectory and like, I didn't realize that we kind of were so similarly on a specific timeline. Yeah. But it is wild to want something so bad, to feel so like it's your purpose and you're driven in this way. And then to understand the reality of it. And I was kind of laughing to myself in bed because really when I started doing the program that you joined, which is what brought us together in a real way in 2020, which I couldn't be more grateful for. Because as we said, Claire's good at everything. And she's the one. If you have your own business and you're the only one, you need, like Claire literally was like, here, let me sit and tell you all these things you could do to be better and creatively support you and give you all these ideas and empower you. Oh my God. Yeah. Everyone needs a Claire.
Bless. I even need a Claire.
Oh, you need a Claire more than anyone I've ever met. You need a Claire. Okay, so if anyone else is a Claire, Claire needs a Claire. This is a public service announcement also. Yes. But it was so funny because when I started to get into the wellness space, that felt a bit more aligned. And then it was really interesting to have had a couple of years riding like really high on doing the program and helping all these women and bringing women together. And I felt like, oh my God, this was all worth it. This was the point. This is how it all like, and when it just stopped literally like on a dime, it was so heartbreaking and so frustrating. And then, so this is why even reading my silly astrology post like last week, because I felt like, oh, I had found it finally. This was it. I was doing the thing. And then that was gone. And then all this crazy stuff started happening. I became more sensitive and hearing things and seeing things and feeling things and blah, 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 blah. And then it fast forward to like rereading this book. And I feel like this year I'm reclaiming a lot of pieces of myself and my artistry. And reading this book has been really kind of fucking with me in the sense that like, here's this thing that I had pedestalized and loved and like seeing behind the curtain. All of the amount of times, and I don't know if you were as dramatic as I was, but my ex-husband used to always like towards the later on in our relationship, he'd always be like, Lianna, I feel like you're in an abusive relationship with your career. Because like, you know, you get back to callbacks or like I was up for the NBC Diversity Showcase one summer and I was down to like one of the last people. And it was like months of going in. And then they went somewhere else and I just cried. I would cry and lock myself in the bathroom and cry. And then it's like so interesting to be the age and have the retrospect and have the consciousness of like, oh my God, all of that pain was protecting me from something even bigger. So I was having a funny full circle moment because I bought this 2 days ago. I literally, and can I say, and I said this to you, but I thought this was wild. I pre-ordered it because I ordered all my books to this like tiny local English bookshop in Lisbon because I don't do Amazon. I'm trying to do my part.
No. I tried to order directly from the publishers when I bought it. So yeah,
Amazing.
bookshop.org, I think it was.
Ooh, so I order from this little cute bookshop, and I'm assuming they wouldn't have it anyway, but I pre-order it, and I go in to pick it up, and they're like, oh, you were so smart. And I was like, oh, why? And they're like, we've already sold out of all 30 copies. And this is like a tiny little, and I was like, they're like, everyone wants to read this book. I'm like, in Portugal?
Listen, it's fascinating to hear that, like that so many people in Portugal, like in Lisbon or outside of Lisbon or whatever.
In Lisbon.
And then my book club is reading it. Someone else in my book club was like, oh my gosh, my other book club is reading it. Like everyone, well, I say everyone, a lot of people are drawn to this because I think like while we all were unfortunately part of, and I'm here to say, like, we've all been so tough on Lena Dunham. Like we've been a part of this horrible narrative and this, where like she's so brass. It was too much,
Right.
Just like negative thought towards her. Even though I've been a fan of hers, I've been part of the discourse. So it's fascinating because going back to what you were talking about last week or the week before, maybe a little every time, about like the need for authenticity and like the need for truth. And the thing that I think we all, whether you like her or not, she's telling it the way she sees it.
Yeah.
She's authentic.
And it's so refreshing and it's so liberating. Refreshing.
Yeah. And so I think we're all like, let's go. Like, we know we're not going to get bullshit when reading her book. Like we're going to get the truth of what she experienced and how she sees things and whatever. And I think so many of us crave that.
And I think we're in a time more than ever that does, right?
Right. Exactly.
And it was funny because literally I've stayed up late the past 2 nights because I can't put it down. Like I just want to curl up and read it. And
what a great sign for a book. Yeah.
I know. And this morning, I think, again, it's just a weird energy week for me also. Yeah. But I was laying in bed. I didn't want to get up yet. So I was like, well, might as well. So I pick it up and I start reading it. And I was sort of thinking about, because I sort of have this, or I've been trying to find a process before we record where, I mean, I do the things where it's like, I meditate, I move, but it's like, how do I connect to like, I take this very seriously. I want to, for better or worse, like I want to make sure that I'm open to the right things coming through.
Yeah.
And I want, as silly as we can be, I can be, it doesn't matter. It's like, I want to make sure that I'm coming at this with integrity and,
well, that could be done with silliness.
Of course. I think it should be, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mandatory. But it was funny. I was laying in bed being like, well, is this part of my like warm up to do the pot? And I was like sitting thinking about like, wow, like I was really not cut out for that life. And I was so protected and my body like bailed early. Yeah. And I was like, but I am cut out for small time podcasting. This feels perfect.
I know. Well, it's funny because I think, I had a similar, as an actor for so many years. And I kind of went in and out of it. When I was younger, I was in New York trying, auditioning, doing all the stuff, not successfully, but doing it. And then mom got sick.
Yeah.
So I left. I remember I was sitting, I was watching the Oscars the year before I left and went back home to be with mom. And I remember having this whole moment with myself, like, I will be there next year. Not like nominated, but just like be in the circles enough that I will be a guest or part of something, just like I'll be that much closer to them. And then mom got sick and I left
And
the
you're
whole
even
thing.
further. Right.
And so it's just, I think about that moment of like, but also if mom had not gotten sick, I don't know where I would be today. Had I actually been successful in my early 20s in acting in New York, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I understand. It's funny because like, I think Girls was your time.
Yeah, like I was auditioning while they're casting. I was like,
Right.
I could, I was like,
Right.
this could happen.
For sure. Sex and the City was mine. And so I wasn't auditioning because I was mainly doing theater stuff then. But I was working in the restaurant world. So I knew so I was like, we knew when they were filming and like which bars and restaurants and like so much of the behind the scenes and whatever. So Sex and the City was very much my New York. So I loved Girls. I absolutely did. But it was like Sex and the City was the new raw.
Right.
Like,
right.
Female forward, sex forward, which, if you watch it now, it's like, Jesus, they're obsessed with men. But like at the time.
Right. No, I remember watching it in college and being like,
yeah,
this is wild.
Yeah. So that's kind of my draw for the New York, like a woman in New York love letter, Yeah.
Well, it was so funny too, because I early on also like Saturday Night Live is like what made me want to be I loved it. I don't even think I never thought, I thought I wanted to be like this serious, dark actress.
Well, because I think for the longest time that also was like, that means you're a good actor.
Yeah. And I
not
remember
necessarily a comedian, yeah.
Right, when I was in conservatory, I remember I spent a year just doing all these really dark scenes and crying all the time. And then I was like,
acting.
This is not. And then I didn't even know that I was funny. And then I remember doing this one scene, like in early acting classes, like but it was kind of happened by accident.
Yeah.
And then it's funny when I was like doing something I committed really hard to something that I didn't think was funny and everyone's just laughing. And I was like, this is like another part of a thing I could do.
Yeah.
But I just remember like right away hearing how SNL was made. And even when I was like doing improv, I was like, there's no way. I could not handle that. That sounds horrible. I would literally get an autoimmune disease and die. Like there's absolutely no way I could handle the pressure and the shooting schedule.
No sense.
Oh my God, it's not for your body.
Well, no. And I mean, it's gotten a little bit better, but back in the day, I mean, when I started, it was just Coke fueled. But yeah, like the whole, That's
the only way I probably could do it.
Of course,
I wouldn't be very good.
Of course.
And you wouldn't be able to understand me.
It would make no sense.
No. I'd be like, the whole time.
I remember when Leslie Jones got on SNL because she was 50, I think, or late 40s when she got on. And I was like,
imagine.
Hell?
I'm so tired.
Is a young person's game. Like, but
sturdy.
She killed it. But I think, it's fascinating. Just like staying up all night and the turn and I think with Tina Fey coming in as one of the head writers and then Seth Meyers, I think they both helped to make it a little bit more of a healthy environment, but they still had there's an expectation to stay up all night and it's never been something on my radar because I know I will not thrive in that.
No, no, too much
I would
pressure.
never thrive in that. And not like they're asking for me, but it's not like that's never been a
You would in
dream of
terms
mine.
of, I mean, I guess they need very charactery people, and we were neither one of
Yeah,
us
the
like that.
groundlings again, the
No,
groundlings
no,
people, which
no,
it's
we did
not
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 like.
me so much.
No,
So
no.
yeah, another
Well,
love letter, New York.
Lord Michaels, don't call us. We're too tired, and we
Fine,
don't want to do
Lord,
characters.
I'm exhausted. Can I tell you? Yesterday, I was so exhausted. I don't want to brag,
But you
but
got
I took 3 walks in 24 hours,
what,
and I was
girl?
so tired. No, my friend, the one good thing about LA is that there's so many little hikes and then they're
It
huge
is
hikes, but I
great.
mean, there's so much outdoor, right? Which is one of
Yes,
the reasons I was drawn, one of
drawn.
many reasons I was drawn.
Yes.
Have I been good about going on all these hikes and exploring these hikes? No, not at all. Because I am so concerned by being out of shape. I'm like, well, I don't know how hard it's going to be. So then therefore I get worse. And yeah. So anyhow, the other night,
Uh-huh.
my good friend who lives across the hall, Caitlin, was like, "Okay, what if we go over and take this quick little hike?" And I've heard about this one that's like literally a mile from our home, but I just haven't done it yet. And so I was like, "Oh my gosh, yes, we need to do this." It was going to hit like sunset time, and it was going to be nice, whatever. It is straight up,
Yes. No.
and there was
No.
yeah, correct your response, my friend.
Oh, that's funny.
No. Both are correct because I mean, that's a wonderful, because it's going to
Yeah.
push your body and whatever. But it's also my good friend is a triathlete. So we're like walking up. And then I was like, haha, don't expect me to have a conversation right now. And then it was like, this is not stopping. And like we've gone on hikes before where she's like just like right up here and then it flattens out, like just right, like she's always lying to me. And so I don't I refuse to believe her. And then at one point I was like, I have to stop. And I was like, I'm so embarrassed. And I feel so like, but it felt good to claim that
Yeah.
of like, I was taking me forever to do it. And I was like, God, I hate this, but I'm not going to carry it. I'm just going to say it and just be like,
Yeah.
I really hate this. I really hate this. And so it was really like by the end of it. And she was like, she didn't have any judgment. I mean,
No, she loves you. She doesn't
yeah,
care.
yeah. I don't think she expected to go so slow on this little hike that but it was so nice. But then the next morning I had scheduled with a friend to go for a walk in the neighborhood. She just had a baby. So I was like,
Ooh.
like she lives 10 minutes down the road. So I was like, why don't I just come over and we go walk with the baby, like help us both get out of the house. And then I took a walk in the afternoon and I was like, okay, I got home and I was like, I can't, this is too much for me. I'm exhausted. I'm absolutely exhausted. So the idea that I walked,
Well, one was a hike. So
one
that's
was a
like
hike.
double.
That wore me out.
Or
Yeah.
like
That was
straight up
all.
a hill.
Thank you so much.
Trying to give you some
Two.
more credit there. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that. But the idea of staying up all night and doing SNL is not going to work for me. Yeah,
I don't like being sleeping is my favorite thing now.
I
Like
can't
being
do it.
tired, I can't do
Boy.
it. I can't
I
do
know.
it. My
Now I know I am so out of shape now,
yeah.
and so I get tired more easily. It's hard to push through, whatever. But I definitely, I hit but being a projector as well, I need my
Also,
sleep.
it's true.
So it's like once I hit a wall, because I had also told Caitlin, I was like, you know what, I'm going to apply to 3 jobs today.
Amazing.
And I looked after the afternoon walk, I was like looking at jobs and I just couldn't
Keep an eye open.
I couldn't. And I said, I'm done. And she was like, girl, you said it's just 3 jobs. Like, just do it. And I was like, I simply can't. I don't think you understand. I simply can't. I'm exhausted. I have to lay down, which is what a privilege. But anyway,
Yes.
I was just proud. My hip flexors are sore today because of
do some
all my walk.
stretching. And it sounds like if this straight uphill hike is near your house, maybe you should like do it once a week.
No, 1,000%. 1,000%.
I am also a non-energy type, so it's very inconsistent for me. And sometimes I really need to lay down.
Yeah.
But then other times I have a lot of it. And I'm very, well, for better or worse, I was raised by 2 manifesting generators. So they always have more energy than I do. And my mom is like, even in her 70s, like the fastest, most athletic person in my life. But there's something about living with someone who loved exercise so much that like, there is a part of me that it's like, ooh, uphill, even better good for our butts. You know what I mean? Like my first reaction is like, ooh, more of a workout.
No, I hear you. And that is if I was in a state of feeling better about my body and exercise and whatever, it is exciting. But I was like, oh, I will die. Because it's just really, it takes it out of you. And my low back has been really hurting recently. I did just start taking progesterone a couple weeks ago. You said. And the patch, the estradiol. So I think I did look up progesterone sometimes will give you an achy back. So walking up the hill too, it was like hurting my back more or whatever. So I hear you. Going up the hill is good, but it also was a lot. But I want to make it less of an issue.
Yeah. Well, if you go by yourself and like, I don't know, a nice soundtrack, it might be a really, I think there's something about like swimming, hiking, yoga, where like I find them meditative, especially like by myself.
Yeah.
Bike riding too, like bike riding, not spin class, absolutely not, but like bike riding.
No.
I love like getting into a routine and then watching my body progress, like just feeling stronger. Something about like feeling stronger is something I really like. Yeah. So that to me, but then as I'm saying that and as I'm like, ooh, a hill, I'm realizing like I'm hailing from a woman who like loves exercise so much. And like my closest aunt used to do so many sit-ups that her spine would bleed. So maybe
can I just say
there's a little bit of intensity over
there's a little bit of exercise obsession there.
I mean, I definitely got into it wasn't a long phase because I'm a sleepy girl, but I like when I like the bulimia stopped, I definitely had like exercise. There was like a period of my life where I like would exercise.
Of course.
I didn't, that's probably half that with the bartending and the auditioning and the staying out late. I shot my adrenals with like 2 guns. And then my body was like, nope, we can't do this. Not for one more second. Not for, and then I couldn't exercise for an entire year. I was like forbidden.
Wait, yes, because of your adrenals.
I could only walk and do gentle yoga. I wasn't allowed to exercise. So,
I know. I remember we talked about that before. Yeah. I also self prescribed. I'm unable to exercise.
Well, you know what's interesting is because I never liked exercise. I would do it as like a form of punishment.
Sure.
Or as like a should. Like for a while, I was like, I should do this. We should do that. And then let me tell you, you're not allowed to exercise for a year. I craved it. Like you lose anything for a little while.
Well, if it's taken,
you're so grateful. You're so grateful.
Yeah.
But not a spin class, not a runner. No, thank you. You got to like the exercise
I can't do the running. Yeah, running is tough on me. I don't mind a spin class.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
I have to be told what to do. I don't do it.
That's why I like a yoga. That's why I like a Pilates. I love a bar. I like the group aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then any sort of, because I did grow up in Maine, so there's a lot of playing outside. So anything that feels like playing outside as an adult, like swimming or biking or hiking, I like that too, because it's just playing outside.
So going back to age and Birthday. Someone's birthday is coming up. We don't know what it is, but it's coming up. Uh, Now, you are not a ridiculous person like me who likes to celebrate it for every day leading up to it.
No.
But do you have thoughts around your birthday this year? Are you going to go do something?
Well, since we have this lovely house and lovely backyard, I was
Yeah.
thinking of doing just like a casual like pool hang sitch.
I
But
love that.
the weather kind of got really
Yeah.
hot a couple weeks ago, and now it's like in the 60s, so it's
Sure.
not like the vibe. But on the tired vibe, like I think between
Yeah.
I had my cousin in town, and then we went to Rome for a week, and then we had like Easter, which ended up being a lot more of a Brazilian party than we expected. And then my
Sure.
aunt came for a week.
Yeah, you've had
And
a lot
then,
going on.
and then we had a 70th birthday party that I did incredible hair for. And
Yes.
then,
Noted. Yes.
and then on Sunday, we're throwing like a 40-person baby shower. And
Oh,
our house is
right.
like not quite finished yet. We're like in transition of getting furniture.
Right.
So we're like trying to make it look like people live here and it's not like half college dorm vibes.
Sure. Sure.
So then it was funny when I realized we had agreed to host this big party like a couple days before her birthday. I was like, I don't know if I can handle throwing myself a party.
No,
This is
well,
a lot of stuff.
if you weren't having the baby shower, then maybe. But that is too much.
So maybe like a low key thing in the next like month or so if the
Yeah.
weather gets better. But I am we're gonna go get massages and then go to a
Good.
nice dinner. But
Good.
it was so funny. We even talked about like going away for a couple nights somewhere
Yeah.
like quiet and pretty. And neither of us could even think about packing like a pajama.
I get it.
It was like,
I get
it's just,
it.
do you feel this about this year? Like this year just feels so busy and so fast.
Well, yours is busy and
That's true.
fast.
Yeah,
You guys
that's
have been
true.
doing a lot.
And then it's just like the summer gets crazier and like
Yeah, summer's always crazy. Yeah.
so yeah.
And then the holidays are crazy. It's all, everything's crazy.
I am like not, it's weird. I want my birthday to accidentally be like the most fun thing that anyone's ever, like I want it to be like an accidental good time surprise. But if I like put a lot of energy into planning something, I am always disappointed.
Okay, I hear you.
cannot.
I
don't
hear
know.
you.
Like I don't. And like also,
Yeah.
if it was like a big thing that we planned that was just about me, I would feel like stressed out about.
Yeah.
Everyone. I like really. I learned this a couple years ago through Jenna Zoe, where she's a human design expert.
The human
and
design, yeah.
we have a lot in common in our charts. We have the same profile. And her greatest gift, you have a bunch of gifts in human design. And I have gift 19, which she talks about, which is this like innate ability to sense what people need. And it is hellish at
That's
a party
too much.
that you are hosting.
Yeah.
Because I will tune into the person having the worst time and I will worry about it. So in the past, I realized I used to drink a lot out in the world and at parties because it would dull the sense of people like responsibility
Taking
towards
on,
other
yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So hosting parties is sort of hellish for me in that.
Yeah.
And I could get better. I could like not care, but I also don't know how to like
No.
if it's a bunch of people I care about, I don't know how to
That's a tall
not
ask.
worry like
Yeah, I know.
sense that they're having a bad time. And then I just feel responsible. And then it's like, well, I invited everyone here and it sucks. And everyone's just thinking that this is horrible.
That's too
and
much.
I know. So I'm not
Yeah.
good at like I love a party, but I love like being a guest.
And I love that. I love to host.
And it's so funny. A fun fact about Claire and I, have we hung out socially besides like the two of us doing something like 3 times in our life?
No.
Like,
I think,
I've worked with Claire. We've been on set.
yeah.
We've maybe been at like one of Jesse's birthday parties like a time.
But I think the one I'm thinking of, it was just like dinner.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even a party setting.
No. So as one of the closest people in my life who has witnessed arguably the most insane, intimate thing that's ever happened to me. Fun fact, Claire and I have never been to a party together.
Never been to a party together. Never been to like hang out someplace casually.
No, like only a couple of times ever. And
That's
one time
so funny.
and the one time we ever just went out to a restaurant, the two of us, we did show up wearing the same clothes.
We were matching. We were. Yeah, but I love hosting. And I think that I got that from my mom. My mom loves to host. I hear you though. I do take on that. I think why I'm a good host is that if I choose this for myself, is that
wait, I want to interrupt you. So our older former friend, Jessie, would talk about it. Like this was all she,
I'm a host.
How incredible you were at it, and how, because she had social anxiety and how Claire was the one you wanted to bring with you anywhere, because she makes everything better and is the most. This is a Claire hype man show.
Listen, I'm obsessed. I can't wait to edit or
host
to listen back through this episode just for myself. But no, I take on a bit of hosting skills when I go to someone else's party.
Thank God. See, can you just move to Portugal so you can host parties for me? Okay. And I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, just because I want people to feel comfortable, and I feel like if I see people just like awkward or something. And then I like having the task. Because if I'm just supposed to be a participant, I don't know. That's hard for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I can hang out all day. I can chat to people. I love a hang. That's why being an actor was fun. All you do is hang out.
Right. Well, listen, it's not that I don't enjoy the hang, but I'm going to make sure everyone's okay too. Great. In a casual way. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm not coming in and taking over someone else's party, but if they're busy doing their thing, then I'm going to try to mix and mingle and be, I'm going to try to support. But I miss actually hosting events.
Yeah.
Like I was so looking forward to, as we talked about with my birthday, like I was so excited about doing a park hang. And a park hang for me, I was going to rent games. I was going to get I even want to do like gift bags, like that kind of I love that. I love sweet. That stuff. But I also financially can't do that right now. So do a party as well as I would want it to be. Yes. But I do love that. Hey, guess what?
What?
I'm going to add it to my fucking list.
Yes, add it to the list. Under the mayo, which is on my list.
Under mayo. I remember actually circling back. I remember I threw a party for the series finale of Sex and the City.
Oh, wow. There we go.
And I had little gift bags. Cute. And I had, I loved it. But that was also back in the day when it was appointment, like television,
Yes.
Like everyone needed to be there to see it. Yeah.
And I think I ended up having like the best birthday ever last year. So thank you to my lovely partner. She did such a good job and did all these great planning and surprises. That it was funny. Cute. We were sitting there tired being like, should we do something? I was like, I don't know if you're ever going to beat last year. Like, let's not even try. And the best part was the part of it that I planned was the least fun part. Like everything else that she surprised me with was like far better. So
you gotta
shouldn't be involved.
It's not on you. It's not on you.
But you know what's so funny? Because I have this other part of me, and that's very like the only child, like probably Leo rising, whatever. Yeah, rising.
Okay.
That is like, but also everyone like accidentally pay attention and care.
Well, of course.
It's like, I don't care and I'm never going to do this. It's not a big deal. But like,
right.
I hope everyone texts me and says happy birthday.
And that's
Which what is great about this is going to come out after my birthday. So, haha.
I know. But listen, if you're anything like me, you're welcome. Happy birthday wishes at any time.
That's true. And if you're anything like me, I literally don't know the date. I don't know the day of the week. I don't know how old I am. So
well, that's true.
10 out of 10, I probably forgot your birthday at one point. And like it's happened to, I've forgotten my mother's birthday. Like it's literally everyone in my life. If I don't like live at your house with you,
Right,
I may
right.
not remember your birthday. And
Right.
so then I can never be mad because I like live in an alternate universe. Why would I even expect people? I have to like whenever I get sad, I'm like, Lianna, you
Yeah.
literally don't know what date it is.
You know what? That the one thing about the birthday, I don't. It's interesting because it's like I love to celebrate my birthday. Obviously, I shove it down everyone's throat.
I love that though. Take up space. Like I still am
Thank you.
trying to learn how to take up space in that way. Like that feels really.
Thank you. But I don't
Hard for
care
me.
about. I'm okay. Like my close friends, my friends, obviously would love to receive a happy birthday from them. That's lovely. But I'm not doing it for tons of people to say happy birthday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's more about me just celebrating myself
Which is incredible.
a little bit, which is also, it's my favorite subject to talk about.
I
Me.
mean, the thing is, that's everyone's. That's
Yes.
everyone's. And
I know.
the reason that it's easy to make friends is just you ask people questions about themselves.
That's all you gotta do.
And I think I've been good at that because I actually am
It's
so
hard.
fascinated by people. Like
Yeah.
I want to know, and I want to know the weird
same.
stuff.
Same.
Like tell me the hard, awkward thing. Always.
There's so many times when I'm chatting to a stranger that I ask the most stupid follow-up question, but I always preface, I'm like, I know this makes no sense and no one cares, but I have to ask. Like,
Oh, of course.
how did you get there? Or how did you, like, what was did you have to buy a ticket? Like, it's like
Like, I
stuff
need
that
the detail.
doesn't matter. It's like, but I'm just like fascinated by how these, how people function in their world.
Oh my God, that reminds me. So we're still watching The Boyfriend on Netflix.
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
But I don't know how this happened because I came in late to the situation, but we watched the second season first and now we're watching the first season.
Okay.
And the first season's a bit racier. The second one is very wholesome, and the first one's a little bit more like what you'd expect with a bunch
Sure.
of gay men in a house.
Okay.
And there was this really cute scene of these two guys, and one is like this go-go dancer. So
Love
like
obsessed.
we've seen him at the club with, and then turns out this like sexy go-go dancer guy is like very shy and like as you'd expect. So he's trying to engage with this guy he's a crush on. And it literally is the two of them sitting there and he's like, so what do you like to do? And the other guy's like, I really like going to like bathhouses and saunas. And then it's silent. And then the follow-up question from the guy, the go-go dancer is, so when you go in the sauna, do you like commit hard to it?
Okay.
And the guy was like, what? Like,
What?
I go in. And then I was like, oh, maybe this is like a Japanese thing. And like, there's a level of like sauna commitment. No, because this show has like a gallery of people watching and like talking
right.
about it, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, what? Like,
What?
what? Like, he sat there and I was like,
Right.
what kind of question was that? Like,
Well,
literally.
I also immediately, like going to bathhouses, I mean, that's historically the gay cruising scene. I don't know, like back in the day when you had to hide a little bit more. And I don't know, I'm sure there's I'm not up to date on the current bathhouse situation. Sauna. So when you said that, I immediately thought sexually. Like,
well,
was
I
it
didn't get this sense at all. It was, nor did the peanut gallery.
The people watching.
Well, and I
So,
think
yeah.
that like different cultures have different like sauna and bathhouse cultures. Like
Of
the
course.
like I feel like it's a
course.
little like, but anyway, it was very
Yeah.
Everyone's
That's
like, what?
very cute.
And the guy was like, I just go in the sauna. And the guy was
Yeah.
like, great.
Okay.
What? Anyway, try not to be
next
there.
question.
That's like one of those stories that I didn't need to tell. But we're here.
Listen,
we told it.
I
It's
needed
over.
to hear it.
Thank you
But
so
don't you
much.
dare say you didn't need it.
Thank you so much.
You know what's interesting? The energy today in our conversation, I feel like I don't think I'm going to return to this corner.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's too active.
Say more.
It's too active. My back, like, the street, I live on a pretty busy street.
Okay, so you're like
and
feeling.
so it's like behind me.
I did hear maybe
You're hearing more.
I heard a siren.
Yeah, the siren. There's like, I'm hearing a bunch of
It's
stuff.
distracting.
It's distracting.
Yeah.
The cats are like, what are you doing over here? So there's
like,
that.
why are you so close to the perhaps very dangerously placed litter box?
Very dangerously placed. So because my desk, it's like the street's in front of me. So I feel like it's a weird, while I love the color and the energy, like looking at this, I don't think I can sit here. I don't think I can sit here.
Don't do it. Don't ever do it again. Well, I mean, it's crazy. Ever since I changed the direction of this desk, both of us, every time we come in this room, it feels totally different.
Yeah. I do think I have one other place. Listen, the most colorful and delightful room in my entire apartment is the bathroom, but I'm not going to take us into the bathroom. So I have to.
What if you did? What if like she is just
right?
sitting in and that's your thing?
And that's who I am. It's entirely
And we can
possible.
change the title to like Pooping with Claire.
Pooping with Claire, could you imagine my legacy? Never. Anywho, so next week I may be in a different location is what I'm saying.
This is fun. It's like the Where's Waldo.
Yeah. Thank you. Do you remember, and this isn't a great reference, but I used to be quite the Today Show head.
Well, I had a long period of time because, like, you're home a lot during the day as an actor. I worked in a bar. I would just have it on
all the time.
Oh yeah.
So there was a series, Where in the World is Matt Lauer?
Ooh, before he became a persona non grata.
Before we realized who he really was, which was quite sad and unfortunate, but just the beginning. Because I feel like we learned about that before the larger Me Too movement.
Yeah, we did.
But anyhow, yeah, I used to love that series. Where in the World is Matt Lauer? It really did. That's it.
I don't remember it. So he just would be somewhere else and be like, "Hey, I'm in Cincinnati."
Yeah, it was like like Morocco. Like
that's better.
Yeah. Like he'd be all over and then Al would ask it'd be like there'd be a few segments of where, asking questions. They'd like be really tight on his face, and then there'd be like the reveal, and then it's
of
like
where he was. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like that is fun. Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah. I remember years ago, my therapist at the time, because I have such an obsession with TV. My therapist was like, what if you didn't watch TV when you got ready for work? And I was like, what? Like I said, I have to have my Today Show fix.
Yeah.
Like and he was like 1 week. 1 week. And now like cable, it's a different world.
Yeah.
But I used to I get up, I turn on Today Show. Like that was everything. I don't know why I went off on this, but
do you have background noise going on all the time at your house?
A lot of times. Yeah. I would say 80% of the time.
And is it mostly the TV?
Mostly TV. I will say music more so now. Yeah, it's usually music. There's like a couple different channels on YouTube that have like, it's a jazzy Sunday morning, and so then it's like for 3 hours, it's just kind of this ongoing fun, whatever. So I'll do that a lot.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
Because sometimes it's hard to commit to like, what music am I listening to? Or like, I can't
have, unless I'm in the car or like on a walk or exercising. No, I want classical or like jazzy stuff in the house. But it's silent here a lot, which I'm that girl now.
Yeah.
Well, so much of what I do is quiet or like.
You need to be quiet.
Elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I have music on a ton. But yeah, like yesterday I didn't. If I've got to think, I can't have music with lyrics in.
No, I don't know how people do that.
I don't know.
No,
I don't know. Or I'll have podcasts. I do listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. In the past couple of years when all this stuff has happened, I'm taking in so much less information, and that's the directive because, I'm taking it less here and more from through my brain and more.
Yeah.
No, I guess it comes in another part of my brain. How do I describe that? Right?
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I'm not learning things. I'm downloading things now.
Yeah.
And I have to create space for that, because if you're always, and this is true for everyone though, I'm not special. I'm just more sensitive than a lot of people. But if you're always listening, learning, hearing, there isn't a lot of space to hear first of all, your own inner nudges and wisdom. And then if you are ever interested in anything else coming in, it's nearly impossible. So if that is something you're interested in as a human, listeners, people, the more, even just intentional few minutes of sitting in self-inquiry. Because the crazy thing about this, and Luciana and I are working on, this is one of the things I'm trying to do more of, is follow my first ping. When I get an intuitive hit, you know how sometimes it just gets louder?
Yeah. Yeah.
Immediately.
Okay.
The weirdest, okay, turn left. And the sooner I can do that, because the crazy thing is we all, if you can sit quietly and have self-inquiry about anything, you'll get an answer. It's the actual believing it. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. Right? And so it's been really interesting to watch what happens if I listen sooner and I respond sooner. Things happen faster. It's a really fun game if anyone wants to join us. But it's hard because it literally is just how present and connected to yourself are you, and how much do you trust yourself?
Yeah, I don't listen. Yeah, I mean, that's so much of why I will keep on music or watch or listen to podcasts or whatever. It's distraction. So I don't listen or hear
or feel.
Right?
Right. What do you think? Yeah, I think it'd be interesting for us all collectively. Hey guys, you out there too.
Hey guys.
To spend the next week spending a little bit more time and just seeing. When I did a couple years ago, I did that 10 days by myself I didn't see people. I stayed in a little. Yeah.
When you were in Maine, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I stayed in a little, essentially a little cabin-y thing in a field. And I didn't deal with it. I had no phone or anything. And I saw no one and talked to no one for 10 days. And the first 3 days, I would notice that whenever I had a little bit of discomfort, I would reach for my phone, which I didn't have. And then it was so hard. Wild to see. And so instead I would have to feel the feeling. I would have to deal with what arose. Yeah. And often it was so little. Yeah. But then you think about that, how that compounds. Right? If every moment we're switching a podcast or looking at Instagram or doing something to bring us out of immediately take us away from the discomfort of the moment. It was wild. And then the craziest thing was after a few days, it kind of went away, but I started to see how addicted to our phones were. And I was like, we should do this more often. Yeah, absolutely. But creating that space and that silence, I was so much happier. And then I don't know. We should probably wrap things up soon. Because we could chat until the end of time. Yeah. But it was interesting. Say something.
Well, I was supposed to say, I listen to a number of podcasts because it also feels like, the very essence of it is hanging out with friends. Yeah. Because I don't see people so much. So it's I love turning on Amy Poehler and whoever she's talking to. I love Handsome is my favorite podcast ever. Which is Handsome is Fortune Feimster, Tig Notaro, and Mae Martin. and like just listen. Like it's just I feel like I'm catching up with friends, right?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is does a lot for my mental health, and that's why I think our chatting and getting together is important, because I know how important it is for me when I need to feel like I'm connected.
Yeah.
Then I turn on three friends who are talking about
Yeah.
nonsense and can get deep, and
Right.
like just
Right.
catching up and whatever. It just makes me feel a little bit less alone.
Yeah.
Um,
Agreed.
so
Agreed.
yeah,
No, people like it.
yeah.
I like it. I know it was funny. I was listening to something earlier, and I had a moment where I was like, well, none of this feels interesting. I wish
Uh-huh.
I had something like our podcast to listen to, because I wanted to be like light and fun, but also something else.
Right. Right.
But I also was not feeling my best, so I obviously was not wanting to sit in that.
Yeah.
But you held space for it. Thank you,
Oh my
everyone.
gosh. Of course.
And
Yeah.
what we were just talking about just made me think of this thing that I read yesterday, that I wrote down from this
Okay.
book, that I feel like is a nice jumping off point and
Perfect.
sort of ties into what we were talking about a little bit. Because, sitting in silence with ourselves feels very scary and uncertain and no fun.
Yeah.
But if you want liberation, go into the unknown. The unknown holds the key to our healing and the keys to our evolution. The unknown holds the keys to our full potential and the keys to all the ways we're meant to thrive and become superhuman. The unknown holds the keys to every solution, to every global threat that the species is facing. It's where we get our power. There is no power to be found in following the rules or trends or patterns or formulas. This means that we must go inside ourselves to find all the resources we need to navigate that uncharted territory.
Okay.
And you got to be quiet to do it. You have all the
Gotta be
answers, right?
quiet. You really do.
And connect to yourself.
Gosh, being quiet is hard.
Yeah. Well, it's uncomfortable, but it's so crazy because it's like we look outside for everything else and it's like, no, it's under your bed. You
Right?
just gotta look.
Next to the monsters.
So I hope you all continue to find moments of joy and maybe silence and stillness. And, when in doubt, if things aren't working, just move your kitty litter box.
There we go. Or yeah. Or do a little sage. I need to do like a smudge or something. Listen, I love today's experiment with location. We're gonna move it.
All right. Didn't work. Didn't work. You
Didn't work?
heard
And
it
that's
here
okay.
first. She
So-
cannot be in the breakfast nook. It is not for
I cannot
podcasting. It is
be.
only for breakfast.
Thank you so much. Or just to look at. That's the thing that I like. I like sitting on my couch and looking at the teal and the whatever,
Yeah.
Okay,
Beautiful.
enough
Well,
of
thank
that.
you for sharing it with those of us who are watching today.
You're welcome. I may return at a different time, but currently not for me.
All right. Well, thank you all. We love you all.
Love you. Happy early birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. You're the first.
Yay! Bye.